Often when you are very much at the peak of your success and everybody acclaims you, you actually know inside that things aren't so good. Mm-hmm. And the same way, sometimes people think you are through and you're over and you're a failure, but you already know you are making it back.
Diane von Furstenberg is a legendary figure in the fashion industry. When she was only 26, she redefined the look of professional and independent women with her now iconic wrap dress. But her path hasn't always been a straight line up. As she hands creative control of her company to Scottish designer Johnathan Saunders, she sat down to talk to LinkedIn about her successes and setbacks and what she has planned for her next act. I want to talk a little bit about where you currently are with your business and as you think about your legacy and your life in general.
Well, I was very lucky because I came from Europe many, many years ago, and I lived an American dream with a little dress, and I turned it into a big business, and then I had a second generation. And I guess that now I'm at this stage of my life in which I am starting my third act. What is this third act? Well, in a sense, on the business side is to be able to bring in people and talent that will take it on, and will make it last and make it relevant for now. So I have a new chief creative officer, an English designer called Johnathan Sanders, who has kind of brought a fresh look to the fashion and all of that, and he's really running the company and the product and all of that. So the mentoring side of my life today is what really gives me a lot of satisfaction and a lot of pleasure. So it's the mentoring, the voice, using the voice, and of course the philanthropy.
When you talk about bringing Johnathan in, about handing over the creative position to Johnathan, what's that like for you to no longer be the one calling all the shots? How do you do that?
Well, actually, you see, I had an incredible admiration for Johnathan's work for years and years. So, but I never thought that I would be able to have him because he had his own company. So when he was available, I just snatched it. And it's actually wonderful to be able to pass on the baton to people that you respect, admire, and love.
Are there times where there are decisions being made that you're saying, be in the room?
I own the company and I'm the founder, so I will always be involved. Even when I will not be there, I will still be involved. But I'm very excited in the new work that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to do a lot of mentoring and a lot of speaking engagement and get back the feed from women, because you see, I have never met a woman who is not strong. They don't exist.
As you think about your intention for creating a legacy for your business, are there other companies or other brands you look to as models?
I think that every brand has a different story because of its founder and because of how it started. It's hard for me to say what legacy I'm leaving, but I'm hoping that the legacy that I will leave, both through my business, my brand, and anything I do after, is to have told women or that they can be the women they want to be, either by buying beautiful, colorful clothes or by just using their own strength.
I think it's really interesting that you focus on this idea of saying you can be strong without buying anything. How did you reach the point where you were comfortable with saying you can do something without actually helping my business?
Building a brand is providing things that, fashion and accessories that women are going to respond to and they're going to love. And that's why with the new Chief Creative Officer, Johnathan will make them dream. And he has the most wonderful palette in the world. And, he will, that's what the product will focus on. And now that we have that, I will say, I can say to that, okay, that's all great. But the truth is that even more important than what you put outside is how you feel inside. It is true that a beautiful dress will make you feel good inside, but think of it, if you have it all inside, then it's even better.
As you go on the mentoring phase, how are you making sure that you are applying your voice wisely? You can't reach every woman. How are you making sure you're reaching the right women, or that you're reaching them in a scalable way?
I don't know that. I mean, I haven't really even done my business plan yet about this new third act, but now we have social media. I mean, and social media has changed everything. When I'm creating a platform and I can talk to that platform and I can share not just my experiences, my knowledge, but also give a voice to other people who do great things.
How do you measure success?
It's not about success, it's just about inspiring people. One of the biggest things with women is that we tend to be insecure. I'm sure men tend to be insecure too, but it translates in a different way. But women get insecure, all of us. I mean, so many days I wake up and I just feel like a total loser. Now, in most people's eyes, they won't look at me as a loser, right? I'm the woman across the room, and I look so cool and together and know everything, and that's the way they see me, and I am that. But that doesn't mean that I feel like that all the time. And the same way as I am the woman across the room, I look at the other woman across the room and I think, oh my God, she's so together, right? Mm-hmm. The way I think that I reach women is because I am totally honest, right? And therefore, by being totally honest and by sharing your vulnerabilities and sharing your whatever, you allow everybody to feel, it's okay, And of course, I'm much, much older, and I've lived so fully that I should be 150, because my life has been so full and continues to be full.
When you were in your 40s, you had sold your company, you were really struggling with...
I actually sold my company when I was 33. My 20s were great, right? I mean, I was on the top of the world and arrogant. I mean, arrogant because I was successful and I already had children and I already had money and, and I was pretty and I had fun and all of that. So I always thought I would retire by the time I was 30. And actually, I sold my company, I was 33. And then I did something else. I had a publishing house and I lived in Paris, blah, blah, blah. And then I came back in my 40s, mid-40s. And those were the hard times because I had lost my company, and with losing my company, I'd lost a lot of my own identity. And so those were the hard years, and I couldn't express myself, and I got sick, and blah, blah, blah.
I was wondering if you talk about the idea of your identity being tied to your company.
What I will say is that it is really important for women to have children or to have a family. But it is equally important for women to have an identity outside the home. That is crucially important. And yes, it is true that the identity that we make through our work becomes so much a part of who we are. And by not having that, and especially in my case, it was my name and it was all of that, I was a little off for a while. And then I felt like a has-been. And then I had a good idea, and then I felt like I went from being a has-been to being a pioneer again. And I had another wave of success. And life is a journey, I mean, it's like, it's not always sunny.
How do you come back from a situation where so many people, when they get into this trough and they say, I've lost my identity, maybe I've lost my job, and they don't see this path forward, or they don't realize there are doors there. How do you counsel people like that?
I think that the most important thing in good time and in bad time is to absolutely face the truth and not be delusional. By facing the truth, okay, well, this is what happened. It's not so great. And what can I do now? And then you find another path and another door and another person or something, and you start something fresh. And maybe that thing was the greatest thing that could have happened, and then you don't even remember that it started with a failure.
Diane, thank you very much.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate it.